Taryn.
Oh, yes.
Boom, boom sauce.
Okay, there we go. We're recording. I was gonna get ghetto and like do this.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. I appreciate you guys being patient. We appreciate that, you could have been doing anything else at this very moment, and you chose to spend your time with us, getting ready to kick off for what we believe is going to be one of the most incredible programs ever, called the EA Obsession. I'm going to mute you guys because it's not a big deal, but there's just some feedback. So let me mute all. And then Taryn, if you can unmute yourself, or whoever's next, Sarah is going to be next. We so appreciate you guys being here. So we're going to cover a wide range of topics. We're going to cover everything from, looking a little bit at the meal plan, the time nutrition part of it, kind of better, best, good options, looking just like injuries, different types of stuff. So we're going to give you some really good content. And we were all asked to be focused and give you points. So this is going to be a lot of information in a call, but we're super excited to get going. So we are doing this call because we want to set you up for success. All right. It is one thing if you want to do a program and get excited about it. It's another if you just say, I'm not going to follow the nutrition plan. I'm telling you right now that if you want the best results, you guys all invested into yourself. You invested into us as your coach. You invested into the challenge packs with the bands and all this different stuff. So we want to help you succeed and do the best that you possibly can. That requires you to be intentional and purposeful. Okay. It does not require you to be perfect. Notice I did not use that word. It requires for you to look at your week. Look at the times when things are going to be busy for you. Look at the times that you need to go, okay, I need to go to my challenge group. I need to ask a question. I need to figure out what's happening here. Like, what are these people doing? What am I doing? Okay. So it's really gonna, if you set yourself up for success, meal wise, nutrition wise, you're going to find a lot less stress in your week, and you're going to help yourself be successful. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce to you Sarah. Sarah, we have different speakers talking on different topics. And we want to make sure that we are timely and we get you out of here at a good time. So Sarah's going to talk to you a little bit about a pre-workout meal options. Okay. She's been a coach for about a year. She's actually does stuff with autism education, and she has a little bit of a background plan in nutrition, but she really does coaching because it fills her cup. It's something that she loves doing, and it's something that makes her happy. And so, Sarah, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sarah, go ahead and get going.
All right. So I'm going to keep this short because I will ramble. I know this program, when you look at the thing and you look at this meal plan, you're like, oh boy, that's a lot. And Taryn will get into that later about the rest of the food plan. But my biggest thing when I started doing a little obsessed, because that's what we were doing before this, was this timed meal. And I work out at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I can't work out any earlier than 5 a.m. because that just wouldn't work. And I can't wake up at 3 to eat prior. So I tested out what you could do because I had listened to a lot of things Autumn had said. And when you're looking in the meal plan, an option you can do, before I even get into the options, point number one I want to make to you guys before I get into the couple things that you could do for your nutrition. First thing I want you guys to do as you're looking at this meal plan and you're looking at the pre-workout meal, do not overcomplicate it. Okay, so that's probably the biggest thing I've done the past week and a half is I just took the overcomplication out and just decided I'm going to do what works. Second, that goes to my second topic. All you need to do is what's going to work for you. What's going to work for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. So you're just going to tweak this as you go. And if that means that pre-workout meal is going to alter as the program goes on, that is totally okay. I continuously keep trying different things. And what I've been doing has seemed to work pretty well since I work out at 5 a.m. So I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios. So if you are going to be following it exactly to the way it says, it will tell you to have a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon. Okay, so Don't overcomplicate it. If you're not sure what to eat, just look at your list on something that you could eat, fill those up. Something simple, if you are going to be working out in the morning, you could have 2 eggs, would be a red. You could have a cup of veggies, make an omelet with that. A cup of sweet potatoes, that's super yummy. I don't know if you guys make that for breakfast, but it is really yummy. It'll be a full meal. And then you could maybe cook it in coconut oil. And that would get all your containers. That would be your full meal prior to working out. And then you would want to let that settle. Now, if that is too much for you in the meal plan, and Autumn talked about this as well, it is absolutely okay to do meal option 1, which is going to be a lot less food, and it's going to be something that you can probably just have and just go for it. And for that is what I've been doing. And all it is a purple, a red, and a teaspoon. And like I didn't overcomplicate it. I went to the list. What can I have that I can digest quickly? Go for it. I'm doing an applesauce, 2 hard-boiled eggs, and a teaspoon peanut butter. Easy peasy. Getting my Energize in, getting it in, over with. Boom, done. Not overcomplicated, not feeling like I'm gonna vomit, able to go. Yeah, so not overcomplicating it, just going with the flow, not making it hard, just going with it. So, does that make sense at all? Anybody else there? Okay, am I getting a couple nods? Does that sound doable? Not overcomplicated. Just pick your list of things you can eat, something that you know you enjoy. Make it something you enjoy. Don't shove food down your mouth you don't like. All right, so hope that gives you a little bit of insight into the pre-workout meal. And Shakeology is always a good option because you can always throw all your stuff in there. It's too heavy for me. So that'll be post. All right, so I am going to pass you on to Denise, who is an amazing coach. Denise, you're here, right? Yeah, you're here. Denise is a mom of 3. Her husband is a coach as well, amazing in law enforcement. Denise has recently gone through her own surgeries. She has been working on recovery. And she's going to talk to you guys about doing this program while you're in recovery or having to modify. She was a personal trainer prior to becoming a full-time coach, and now she's a full-time Beachbody coach, and she's amazing. And she's totally going to offer you some amazing insight because she has been doing programs while she's been recovering. So I'm going to lead you off to Denise. Are you there?
Hey guys, I'm here. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
All right, good. So I had few technical difficulties. So if I jump in and out, just let me know, like Sarah private message me and let me know if I'm having issues and I'll go on my Mac. But so far so good, right? All right, so thank you so much, Sarah, for that. That's great information because listen, I'm not a morning eater. So I was kind of stressing out over that, and I know I'm not alone with that. So thanks. So yeah, I was a personal trainer. I'm still a personal trainer. I'm just not working at any facilities at the moment because like 4 months ago, I started to feel some weird abdominal sharp pains. And I went to see my doctor, and it turned out I had a 9-centimeter cyst in my right ovary. So that was bad. It had to come out ASAP. There was no saving that. And it's removed. So my right ovary was removed. My 2 fallopian tubes were removed. And I was in recovery for about 12 weeks. After 6 weeks in recovery, I was given the okay to start exercising. Very low impact, nothing heavier than 10 pounds, no jumping, and no core work. So I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm like, I go all in, I'm a beast. So I said, okay, I'm gonna work with what I have. And there's so many programs that we have on BLD available to us. So I started something really low impact. And then when I started to regain a little bit of strength, I went a little heavier. But here's the key, guys. When either in recovery, or if you're modifying because you have a pre-existing injury or issue, or maybe you just have a little too much, you know, weight on your joints, so you can't move as fluidly as you would like to yet, that does not mean that you will not get amazing results. That does not mean that you're not going to get a great workout. It's actually a better thing, because you can take your time and focus on that tension, on that stability, you can focus on your muscle and actually contract better. You improve your form. I was able to improve my form with so many different exercises that I realized when I was going faster, I was not in proper form. So it's not a bad thing. So you guys want to, one, reduce the impact that you're putting on your joints. You want to reduce the range of motion. So if you're squatting, and Autumn has us squatting with dumbbells, you're not going to go as low as everyone else. You're just going to reduce that. So you'll go halfway instead of all the way down, you know? If you have issues with your shoulder and we're doing something that is overhead, you want to reduce that as well too, and maybe just go up to here instead of going all the way up. You know, if you're doing front raises, same thing. So reduce that impact, reduce your range of motion, lower weight, and you're able to also reduce the number of reps. So if Autumn says, okay, we're going to do 12 of these 3 times each, maybe get to 8. If you get to 8, the next week, I promise you'll be able to get to 10. So take your time with that, guys. Like, don't try to go big and hard right off the bat, because you're going to injure yourself. You will cause too much strain on your body that your body's probably not ready for. And remember, this is an 80-day program. It's an 80-day program. So every week, go for that small win where you can go a little harder. You can go a little faster. Maybe you can, in the 4th week, lift a little heavier. So just write these things down. Keep a journal. Take a lot of notes. At the end of each workout, journal how you feel, and share that also with your challengers, with your peers. Share it on social media. You know, I'm having issues with my back, but I'm doing this new program. At the end of the program, I kind of felt a little at the end of today's workout, I kind of felt a little defeated, but you know what? Tomorrow's a brand new day, you know? And when you invite people to watch that journey, they're going to take interest. And then when they see that at the end of those 4 weeks, you're actually feeling better, you're getting stronger, you're developing muscles now that you probably didn't feel in the beginning of the workout, you know? So guys, recovery, whether overweight or, you know, pre-existing injuries, I promise you, you can do this. Just modify, take your time, and focus on your nutrition, because your nutrition ultimately, I know it's cliche, we say it all the time, that's 80% of your goals, maybe even 90. Okay, guys? And that's my spiel. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to hit me up, friend request me and we can talk in private. I'm going to pass it over to Carla. Carla's amazing. She is a mother of a college grad. She is a former Photoshop expert, so she's good with post and all that stuff. Turned full-time coach. 3 years ago, she started full-time coaching. She's also, fun fact, the owner of a fitness facility, and she's going to talk about why she is going all in with this program. All right, Carla, you there, babe?
Thank you, Denise. I've had the flu and bronchitis, so you're going to hear a little bit of congestion here. So let me know if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah? Is it good? All right. So I'm going to give you 4 points of why I'm going all in. And I want you to, first of all, make no mistake. This is completely about me. I really, so one of the things I've always thought was a great birthday present to yourself is to give yourself a great birthday suit, right? So this first reason is I just want to look great naked. There, First reason out there, okay? A second reason is I have something to prove to myself. I'm a painter, I was a Photoshop artist, and I've always admired and loved these beautiful bodies people have sculpted for themselves, figure competitors, but that's a year's worth of work. Really perfect nutrition, and I mean, it could be many years worth of work. Perfect nutrition, perfect exercise, no cheat days, no holidays. So I admire that and I really want that, but that's not me. So I heard Autumn say you could get a figure competitive ready body in 80 days. And I was like, what the 80 days? I can do that. I can totally do that. But I am no fool here, people. That's 9 months you're cutting out of the equation. So I don't want to rewrite the program. I'm going to do it exactly the way Autumn wrote it. And I'm going to go all in verbatim to the way she put it together. So I have a few notes here too. And I want to give you a little more personal information about me. The last 3-4 years have been really challenging. My mom was really sick. And I ended up going to Kansas several times during the last 4 years and sitting by her hospital bed. I've also gone through a recent divorce. So it's been a very tumultuous few years. And I know that when Shanti says that your workout is a metaphor for your life, if you can push yourself up in your workout, you can push yourself up in your life. And I feel like this is the metaphor I choose for myself. The next 80 days are they're going to transform me, myself, my confidence in myself, and really in my life. So that's one of the other really important aspects of why I decided to go all in with this program. And last little thing, I'm 51 years old, guys. I am 51 years old. And I will have given myself, hey, thank you, Taryn, I like that. I will have given myself my new birthday suit, my sexiest outfit ever by the time I'm 52, right? What's Tony say? He says, aging is for people who don't know any better. I believe that 100%. And I want to prove to everyone out there that no matter what your age, you can transform your body, your life, and make a huge difference. I mean, right? Hell yeah. Come on, let's see the thumbs up. So age is not a factor here. Those are the things that are really driving me to do this program.
Hi guys, thank you so much for hanging in there. Yes, I am from Hawaii. Thank you, Chad. I am in Hawaii with my husband, 15-year anniversary, and I love this, you guys. I love this ish so much that I eat, sleep, and breathe, getting excited about helping you get results. So I have 4 real quick tips for you guys, and I really appreciate if you can just kind of take a deep breath and go, okay, this call is all about really focusing on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to show up for me. Okay. Because the truth is, here's my first point. There's not one size that fits all. Okay. Autumn gives us this great plan. All right. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick what you will most likely succeed at and do that and show up with that 100%. Okay. The people that struggle with programs and nutrition plans are the ones that say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to do it 100% perfect. And the day one, they mess up. And then they're like, well, I wasn't perfect, so now I'm going to give up. Okay? I don't know if that makes sense. So I really want you to think about this. And the best way that I can explain this is most of you are here because what you're doing is not working. That is the truth. Most of you are here because you're struggling. You're frustrated. Or maybe you just want to put yourself to the next level. Maybe you're stuck, you're at a plateau, okay? So if whatever you're doing is working, then keep doing that. We're not saying not doing that. Do the workout programs. I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to focus entirely on the nutrition part of this, okay? So if what you're doing is working, awesome. I guarantee you not every single person on this call Like for example, Taryn, she's primarily vegan. She's going to talk a little bit about that. Okay. There's some people on this call that they know that gluten's not good, that just doesn't work well with their bodies. Okay. There's some people that, you know, they're going to take dairy out. All right. But here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on the fact that if you're here, you want something different. So you need to do something different. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the best, better, and good options. I want you to start thinking of the nutrition program as best, better, and good. Okay. The best option is obviously following it to a T. Okay. Following the program to the T, following the nutrition, time nutrition. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably because the nutrition plan just came out yesterday. Okay. So you just need to click on the Beachbody On Demand, go to the program materials on the Beachbody On Demand under 80-day obsession and start looking at the nutrition plan. Okay. You need to start looking at what plan are you in, figuring out what plan am I in. There's plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. Then you click on it and then it breaks it down. It tells you when your containers you're supposed to have. Okay. When you're supposed to eat these containers, how early you're supposed to eat them. Okay. And I'll break that down in just a second. The better option, so best option is following it to a T. The better option is following the containers, but not necessarily the time nutrition. Okay. I, for example, I wake up at 5. I'm going to eat my meal around 5:15. I'm going to do my workout at 5:45. That's not 90 minutes like she suggests. But for me, the best option in my life is waiting 30 minutes and probably not longer than that. Number one, I don't normally eat before I work out. So this is a huge change in my life. Number two, I've been intermittent fasting for 4 years. That means I don't eat usually typically from 8 o'clock at night till way after my workout at like noon. And that's a whole nother thing. But that, for me, this is a huge change because I want to approach this and go all in. I'm not going to say, for me, I'm not going to say, well, I don't do that, so I'm not going to do it. Okay. Because clearly I just told you that if what you're doing is not working, you need to change. I want to change, right? I want something new. I want to get even in more better shape, I guess you should say. I went to Europe and now I'm in Hawaii and I've had all these Christmas trips, Christmas parties. I'm not where I want to be. I want to push myself to the next level. So my best option is to follow it, follow the program, follow nutrition. Okay. And then, so that's the best is to follow it to a T. The better is to follow the containers, but not the time nutrition. And the good option is to follow the containers the best that you can throughout the day or follow what's been working for you. Okay. So does that make sense? I hope that gives you permission to fit in where you are. All right. I will tell you this. Now here's the key. Yes, there's no such thing as perfection, but there is such thing as you telling yourself, well, I'm just going to follow it. You know, I'm just going to kind of follow the plan. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be the person that does all your workouts and gets no results. Okay. So I don't want you to follow 80 days of this program and kick your butt in the workouts. And then at the end of the 80 days go, oh, I didn't do the best I could with the nutrition. I wish I would have gone a little bit more all in. Okay. So I need you to figure out your all in. What is your best? Okay. And follow that to a T. All right. And then follow the containers. Now, if you can't do the time nutrition in the morning, like you wake up at 4 in the morning, Tara might talk a little about this. Like you can follow the time nutrition after your workout, meaning every 2 hours you're eating and fitting in your containers. Okay. Does that make sense? So you can still follow it to 90% of the time. You just need to make it work in your life. All right. So again, there's no such thing as perfection, but there is something that I share all the time with my challengers. You have got to be on more often than you're not. Okay. You have got to, I would say 90+%. That's when you're going to see really good results. All right. You won't get results if you are off more often than you're on. Like, oh, I didn't follow the nutrition plan on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, but now I'm pissed because I did 6 workouts and I didn't get any results. All right. Don't do that to yourself. You need to flip that mindset right now and say, I'm doing this. I'm going all in and I am going to do that best in the nutrition. And the best for me looks like this. Okay. So you can compare to you. All right. And you only. You're not going to compare to someone else. You're going to compare to you and what is your best and how can you show up the best in this program. All right. A couple more things. I know you've heard this before. Nutrition is going to be your key and your weapon to success to really, you know, it's like working out. You're sitting in the car, you have the workouts, but if you don't figure out your nutrition, you never turn on the car to go. Okay. You really never you have the key, and you're sitting there with the key, and you're like, I'm really frustrated. This car won't drive. Why won't it drive? And then you never put the nutrition in. Okay, that's where most of us are at, is that we do the workouts, we have the car, we have this awesome car, we have our bodies that are bringing us here, and we're working so hard, and then we don't plug in the key for the nutrition. Okay, nutrition is key, and you cannot out exercise a bad diet. I cannot tell you that enough, and I'm going to tell you again, I am living proof. I've tried, it doesn't work. I don't have problems with my workouts, you guys. I show up 6 days a week with my workouts. I'm consistently, I'm not as consistent with my nutrition, and I know that. And when I am, I get results. Okay, so please set yourself up for success. Please go into this going, what does my best look like? So I want you to ask yourself this: what does my best look like? Okay, what's my best option? What's my better option? And what's my good option? So you at least have those 3 things in line for yourself, so you can go, okay, most days I'm following my best option. And then when you do have that day where maybe you struggle, maybe you fell into the better or the good, you're not saying you failed and you quit the program. You're saying that you chose that option that day. But more often than not, you're choosing your best plan. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, and the last thing is the best option, clearly, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I tell all my challengers this, is the one that you have the most fun with, the one that you can feel the best with and you get the results, and the one that helps reach your goals. Okay, so if you're on this option where you're like, well, I'm not going to follow the time nutrition, and then you're doing the program and you're not getting results, you have to flip it. You have to switch it and say, I guess the best option for me is the time nutrition, or the best option for me is changing it up a little bit. And you're going to notice in our challenge groups, Taryn and I, and especially in our bigger challenge group, like you're gonna notice that we're going through this with you. So we're going to be experiencing this with you. You're going to notice that some things that you, like a meal that you eat in the morning, might settle a little better than another meal. You might notice that like people are posting different things. You want to try different things. Okay. So just be open to trying new things, and that it's not a cookie cutter 2 + 2 = 4, the only way to get 4. And that's how you run this program. Okay. But you need to promise yourself and look yourself in the mirror in the eye today to say you are going 100% all in, because you deserve it, because you invested in yourself, and there's no sense of doing this program 10%. Okay. So you got to really plug yourself into nutrition. And I know some of you are scared, and some of you have never done prepping before, and some of you have never, done all this stuff. Here's one last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm handing it off. Everything is figure outable, every single thing. So you just need to take a deep breath and go, okay, well, that didn't work out, or that's not working how I'm meal prepping that, or I need to take a little more time on Sunday to do this, and take a deep breath, drop the guilt, and say, what can I do different to make sure that I stick with my best plan? Okay. So I think that's all I have for you. So I really want you to figure out your better, best, good option. All right. If you figure that out, and you're more often than not on your best, best plan, you're going to get results. Okay. And that's what I want for you. What we want from you is to get the best results that you can go. All right. Taryn is up. Taryn is a mama of 4. She's a rock star in this business. She is now teaching Core to 4 live classes in the gym. She's my success partner. Like, I talk to her every single day. Probably her and our messages are a little out of control. But we get stuff done, and she's super passionate. Okay. So she's going to talk to you a little bit about, I think she's going to talk to you a little bit about the vegan plan, and then maybe focusing on wrapping up the call and kind of finishing it up. Okay. Taryn, are you there?
I'm here. Awesome. Everybody covered so much. So this will be recorded, just a reminder, because you guys might be like, oh my God, I missed what Denise said, and what did Sarah say she ate, and Kiana, what was the better, best stuff. We will record it, but if you still have questions that we haven't answered yet, pop them in the chat box. If you know where that is, if you're on your phone, you should be able to like hover over it, and I will address them at the end. I was combing through some of the questions to make sure I added that to my little talking points, because I do have some that will be relevant. But I wanted to just, before I go into mine, I wanted to piggyback a little bit on what Kiana said. This is not the end all be all. Some of us are all or nothing. And if we don't go all in, then we feel like we've completely failed. But like she said, if we're not willing to change what we're doing now to get where we want to be, that's where the failure resides. We have to be the ones to make the change. Now, that being said, just to complicate it a little bit more, you have to meet yourself where you're at, okay? This is just 80 days of your future going on right now. There's another 80 days to come and another 80 days to come. You might get pretty decent results in 80 days. You might get banging results in 80 days. You might get ridiculous results in, what's 80 plus 80, 160 days. Yes, math is not my strong suit. So you have to meet yourself where you're at. If it took you 5 years to gain 50 pounds, do not expect or set yourself up that it's going to happen in the 80 days, okay? We had a gal that was in the original test group that was pushing 400 pounds, and her husband had MS. I don't know if you guys combed through any of these success stories, but I encourage you to continue to feed your mind with that inspiration every single moment of doubt you have in your mind at any given day, because you will have those days of defeat. Not to be negative, but it's reality. We have days that we're just looking in the mirror going, what the hell? I've been working my ass off for the last 3 days. Why do I still have this, right? But we have to be reality, and then we have to meet ourselves where we're at. So if it took us 5 years to gain 50 pounds, don't set yourself up to assume it's going to be gone in 80 days. It might be gone in 120 if you do round 2. And we'll talk about that down the road, but meet yourself where you're at. But the good news is it won't take 5 years for you to lose it if you make the changes and begin to make different lifestyle habits. It's not a diet, you guys. This is not a diet. It's not this Time Nutrition diet, which I know a lot of people are freaking out about. Don't freak out about it, okay? Once you get through 2 weeks of playing around with your good, better, or best, it will be smooth sailing. This happened when 21 Day Fix came out with the containers. I don't know if you guys were along for that ride yet, or maybe just finished 21 Day Fix and you were like freaking out about the containers and these are too complicated. But now we're kind of well-oiled machines with them, right? Just trust the process. There was so much background work that went in and tweaks that were made along the way to assure that this could be successful for everybody, whether you are a meat eater, a pescatarian, a vegetarian, a vegan, plant-based with a little mix, which I'll tell you guys about my plan here in a little bit. Just know that there's a reason why it works, and if you follow it and trust yourself enough to where you know you can meet it, you'll get results. My third point, don't compare yourself or feel ashamed at where you're starting. I know a lot of people, I had asked where everyone's at, and people were ashamed to share what plan they were starting at. Don't be ashamed, okay? We have to own the decisions that we are at and move forward, right? If we're gonna sit there and wallow in it and be depressed and down, we're not gonna get anywhere, right? We're gonna be stuck in the mud and our wheels are turning, but it's time to get yourself unstuck. That's where your coach comes in. That's where this community comes in. And that's where you really immerse yourself in these success tips that I have for you here shortly, and that also all these other amazing people shared. Or this was already said, so I won't even go into it, but you're gonna find success at any level. So my one success tip out of about 3 of them is make sure you follow basically what is advised through this program, not only the containers, but socializing yourself in the communities that are going through the same thing. That's where you're finding inspiration, and that's where you will connect with people that are struggling and at the same point in time that you are, that you're gonna find, I'm not by myself. You know, like look at all of us. I'm sitting in my workout room, freezing. Kiana's in Hawaii. Chad's in Florida. I don't know if you're in the sticks still or if you're in Florida now, but we're all over the place, right? Like we're not neighbors. We're not working out in the cul-de-sac. We're working out virtually at our own times. And so we just have to use each other as inspiration and be connected. So that's going to be connected by watching the weekly obsession. If you guys haven't already, it's in your Beachbody On Demand account. Go watch those weekly obsessions. She gives you kind of what to expect in days in the first week. And it's inspiration about what the cast was going through. So yes, they look incredible, but the guy's story, if you haven't watched it, go listen to the guy's story, which is kind of more towards the end. It's worth investing the 15 minutes to understand don't go into this blindly. That's why we've been preparing for this since like, November? And now we have the meal plan, which is why we wanted to cover all of this tonight. So you guys can really have some food for thought to go back and say, okay, this isn't going to be as bad as I was making it up in my head. Ask your coach, success tip number 2, if they are running a success pod. I stole this idea from Kiana and I threw it out to my community, the moms that are doing this with me. And I said, who wants to be in a success pod? And everyone was like, yes, I want any bit of inspiration and shred of motivation I can get. Throw me in there. And it's a Facebook message thread. It could be a Voxer app thread. It could be your text message thread. Whatever you want to do and be and make of it, get into something that will continue to motivate you. You know, your coach might show up every day and say, hey, how's everybody doing? You've gone quiet. Where the hell are you? And they're going to call you on the floor. And allow that to be permitted for them to do that because they want you to be successful, right? So even if I don't show up, I'm going to expect Kiana, Sarah, Denise, Carla, Chad, David, anybody to show up and say, hey, Taryn. And I know that Britt's going to contact me and say, hey, have you been doing this workout? Julie will do the same. These are all my girlfriends that I am doing this with on my end too. So you have to leverage that inspiration, get into a success pod with your coach or with a group of friends and inspire each other. But don't let it get overwhelming. That's kind of like the, indentation to this tip. Mute your notifications if the groups and the app notifications are getting overwhelming. I actually turned off all my Facebook notifications, so I didn't see when that little red dot on my iPhone, or I didn't see when a group message popped up, or when Kiana sent me 4 voice messages, which I love them. They're so valuable. Like she said, we cranked through a lot to get us to where we're at right now with all this. But you have to set basically like hours or minutes when you can kind of catch up on all that, not letting it be one more thing to add to your day because we'll get overwhelmed, right? So you just have to find your groove, and it's going to take a week or 2 to shake it out. And then you're going to move on, and we're all going to be well-oiled machines. And we're going to laugh about this when we're like, I can't believe I was freaking out. So I want to address what I'm personally doing. If anyone kind of is like, oh, I want to pick her brain, you're welcome to message me. I'm going to be following the vegan-ish meal plan. And when I say ish, it's because I did commit to following it as designed as it comes to the supplements. I did listen to a cast member and some of the test groupers that said I didn't use the supplements at the very beginning, and I was paying for it. It was really, really hard to recover. They would bonk during the day. They would not have the energy for the next day's workout during rehearsals, and to them, it wasn't worth it. And I got 4 kids. I run this business from home. I've got kids, I've got to get people places. Like, I don't have time to think about or be selfish in that, like, I can't move my body. So I committed to going all in, which is not plant-based with the recover, but I'm going to do it for 80 days and see where it gets me. I did commit to adding eggs as a protein option for me. The rest will be plant-based. I don't like to say vegan because I think it puts you in a box, but I am following the vegan meal plan. I will be eating beans. The jury's out on tempeh. Tofu, So if you guys are like, if there's any seasoned vegans out there, I would love your ideas on proteins because I'm not doing tofu. And I will be doing beans and Shakeology vegan, of course, and then my eggs, which I will just be having 2 a day. So that is the only non-vegan thing I will be adding in, those 2 things. I'm not doing dairy, and I will not be adding any meat. This is fairly new for me too, you guys. I stopped having my last bit of dairy and meat in August, and I also was intermittent fasting, like Kiana had said, before that. So I've been intermittent fasting for like 9 months. So this is a huge change for me, and I don't know where I'll be at the end of it, but I committed to following it as designed at my best option, okay? And here's the next piece to it. I work out at 5 a.m. I'm not getting up at 3:30 to eat, just like Sarah said. She tested a few things that were really light and allowed her to fuel herself before her workout. I think she said like 30 minutes before her workout. And that's great. I will be having Energize, and that's all. I will be getting up about half an hour before the workout so I can get Energize in. And I will be following that with water once that's toast, and finishing with Recover after the workout, and then getting all my containers and the timed nutrition in accordingly. That was probably the number one concern that everybody had that's an early morning workout person, because they have to work out at 5, or some were working out at 2:30 in the morning, you guys. So if we're bitching and moaning about getting up at 4:15, we have an amazing soul that is getting up at 2:30 to work out. I don't recall who it was, but I was like, what? I think Kiana responded on her post. So I'm just trying to see if there's any recipe or anybody. Carla posted about tempeh. Thank you. So that's really all I had to share as to where I'm at personally, because I know I'm a voyeur. I like to know what other people are doing, right? Like I like to be, I'm a tell me what to do type of person. So if you are that same person, listen to somebody on this call or reach out to somebody that you resonated with, or ask your coach, what is going to be best for me? Just tell me what to do. Okay, don't worry about eating an hour and a half before a 5 a.m. workout or a 4 a.m. workout if that doesn't fit your lifestyle. If that's not sustainable for you, because here's kind of a theme I want you guys to remember through this 80 days. It has to be sustainable, right? It can't be Monday through Friday and then you throw it all away on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is, usually when we loosen up and, have more cocktails than usual. You know what? And I'm going to be, mark my words, building in a cocktail here and there into my containers. Nobody else said it. I did. Okay. I am not committing. This is so terrible. Okay. I'm a bad coach. And I can't take my words back because it's recorded. But it's not realistic for me to say I will not be having a cocktail in 90 days. Okay. Maybe you guys are all high-fiving going, yes. That doesn't mean you have permission to go and drink a bottle of wine on the weekend. But make it sustainable for you. I'm the type of person, if I restrict something so significantly and say, I am not doing this for a month, when I come out of it, it's like game on, right? There's a lot of us that think that way, and we can't be like that. It's not healthy. But that doesn't say, well, I'm going to build in a bag of Cheetos, or I'm going to build in a donut. Like, you're not having a donut for 80 days, okay? Like that's one thing I should be like, that amount of sugar, there is no containers that you can stuff that donut into, okay? There is not a donut container. But you know what? There might be a slice of cake. There might be a piece of pizza. There might be something along the way. So long as it fits into your containers that you've allocated for the day in your good, better, or best, you're golden, right? And if you realize after 2 weeks you're not seeing anything, you have to reassess, and you might just have to say that pizza once in a while isn't going to cut it anymore. I've got to tighten the reins. But it has to be sustainable for your lifestyle, because come out of that 80 days, you're going to continue eating like this in some capacity. Hopefully just modeling the containers and the portions, maybe not to the extent of the timed nutrition necessarily, but set yourself up for this is carrying on for the rest of your damn life, okay? And this is what I tell my challengers. Your after picture, okay, to 80-day session, your after picture on day 80 is going to be your forever before picture. If not, but your before picture may be better next time around, right? So I'm just saying, don't let your after picture kind of go into like your day 30 and 60 picture again. Your day 80 picture is going to be your new before picture. Did I make any sense there? I feel like I just like went back and forth to, okay, cool. So your after picture on 80-day obsession is your new before picture. And it's just going to improve because you're going to maybe do another round, but you cannot go back to where you are. No more flip-flopping, okay? Especially if you're a coach. I'm going to call coaches out here on the call, or just encourage you guys. We are here to make an impression and help inspire people. We cannot be going back and forth and having huge testimonials of these programs. We're done with it. We are going to do what we can to do best and incrementally make changes along the way so we continue to feel better. Not necessarily look, like we're not looking to be bikini models necessarily, but Carla's going to look good naked. So I'm turning 40 this year, and I want to look as best as I can as a mom of 4 naked. Okay? I'm there with you, Carla. Anyways, I don't know if you drink wine from the purple. That is classy. I like it. You don't even put it in a glass. Why would you? Great point. Complete deprivation will lead to binging. I'm just seeing if there's any questions, you guys. If there is, fire them off. I want to make sure that we can address them. Otherwise, reach out to your coach, talk to them, ask questions. This is what this week is for. Don't start the perfection.
Whoever said they drink it out of the purple, you need to drink it out of a yellow.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, yeah. You're trying to make it a fruit, and it ain't a fruit.
So wine and the 21 Day Fix, you can replace it as a yellow. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this, but
Reality.
just don't go, oh, I have 3 purples today. I'm gonna have my 3, glasses of wine today. So it's not purple, it's yellow, you guys. It's a carb. So it's not gonna, or it's considered to be a replacement of a carb. Okay, I think that's it. Taryn, do you have
No, because I can go on way too many tangents, and it's been an hour. My husband's texting me, so that's a good sign to wrap it up. At least on my end. If you guys want to continue to talk and hang out, by all means.
last thing, the very last thing. In your challenge group, or I hope every single one of you are in a challenge group that does this, you're going to be asked to share weekly progress pictures and measurements. It is not because we are here to chastise you. It is for you to stay accountable to your own goals. In fact, I'm going to go on another limb and say that I might be making albums for my challengers, and other coaches in here might not do it, but they might have a place where you just post it in there to keep yourself accountable, so that, I feel like a lot of times it's like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, no, just get over it. We're all here to help each other. We're all here to push each other. I want you to see progress, because some weeks measurements are going to be down. Some weeks your photos are going to show such a huge freaking difference, but you don't have that big of difference on the scale. Okay. And I need you to participate and be all in to this, for this progress, and just be brave and do that. Okay. So they're going to be either posted in your pod, like in your Facebook pod that Taryn was talking about. Like, I'm going to have them posted in my pod, and then or your challenge group. Okay. Please don't shy away from taking these, because so many people don't, and you have got to take your before measurements before next Monday. Okay, guys. There's so many people that don't, and then they take it 3 weeks into the program, and I'm like, oh, you see how much you changed in the last 3 weeks? You don't even know, because you didn't take any pictures. Don't shy away, okay? It doesn't matter. We all have a starting point. It will be the first thing that you'll be the most proud of when you look back and see how far you've come, okay? All right, you guys have a great evening. Taryn, make sure you get this uploaded, and we'll share with our groups, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.